Thank you all for joining us as we learn more about the candidates seeking election for the City of Centerville Post 1 for May 2021. Hi, I'm April Bragg with the Robbins Regional Chamber, and we are excited to bring you this important information for those of you casting your vote in the upcoming special election. As a little bit of background on our involvement, it's important that you understand that the work and programming of the Robbins Regional Chamber centers on our mission of being the go-to organization as the catalyst for business growth, the connector of people and resources, the convener of leaders and influencers who make things happen, and the champion for a stronger community. As a not-for-profit, nonpartisan organization, the Robbins Regional Chamber is a bridge that links businesses, military organizations, and residents together with innovative programs and strengthens the Robbins region's economic vitality, business success, job creation, and quality of life. The Robbins Regional Chamber is committed to advocate for business-friendly regulations and policies, an attractive business climate, fiscal integrity, healthy infrastructure, a talent-rich workforce, innovation, ethical business dealings, inclusivity, and transparency. In an effort to learn where our candidates stand on issues related to these priorities, we invited them all to participate in one-on-one interviews that we plan to share with you today. All three candidates were interviewed and responded to the same questions. We encourage voters to do your research on the candidates and show up to vote for this important election for the City of Centerville. Early voting is going on now through June 11th from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. with polls open on Election Day, which is June 15th, from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. in Centerville City Hall. Now, let's hear directly from our candidates.
Hi, my name is Robert Bird. I'm a candidate for Post 1 City of Centerville Council. I have lived in Centerville for 14 years. That may not be as long as some people have. However, it's growing up as an Army brat. I moved around a lot as a kid, and 14 years is the longest I've lived anywhere. My family has made Centerville our home. We love it here. We enjoy all the activities and the environment that Centerville has to offer. And I would really appreciate the opportunity to give back to the city that I call home, and do my best to continue Centerville's current great path that it's on.
Hi, my name is Susan Lemmy, and I'm running for Centerville City Council Post 1. My family built the house in Centerville in 1964, and I have lived here off and on ever since then. I attended Centerville Elementary, Northside Junior High School, and Northside High School. Go Eagles! I moved away to go to college and stayed in the Milledgeville, Haddock, Jones County area for about the next 20 years. I came home to help Mama take care of the house. She had moved to Cincinnati, and then to help her in her last days battling multiple myeloma. I've been a proud citizen of Centerville since forever. This is my hometown. I attend city council meetings regularly. I pay attention to what's going on, what decisions our city leaders are making, how they're spending our money, where our budget dollars are going. I want to be a part of making our city great. We are a well-functioning city. We have some great amenities, and I want to continue spending our money wisely and to represent our citizens. I want for our citizens to feel like they have an active and important role to play in our city governmental processes. Citizens should be welcome at city council meetings. They should be treated with respect, and their ideas are invaluable to the progress that this city can make. I hope to see all of our citizens at our city council meetings, and I promise I will be accessible to you. I will be concerned about your cares, your concerns, and I would love to hear what you like and what you think can be better in Centerville, Georgia.
Hi, April. Thank you for the invitation. My name is Debbie Taylor, and I'm running for Centerville City Council Post 1. What can I tell you about me? I was born in Macon County, raised in New York, and returned back home to Centerville. So with that, I've been here 15 years, and I'm looking to serve the Centerville community. This is all new to me, so excuse me. Thank you.
First up, why have you chosen now to serve in local government?
Well, we have a vacant seat. It's a great time for me to get in and be on equal footing with the other candidates who haven't been a part of the city government either. I am new to city government, but I'm not new to the community, and it's time that I give back to the city that has given me so much.
I've retired. It gave me an opportunity to be more active here in our government. My brother has children. One of his children had mitochondrial disease. He is deceased. And so my duties as a caregiver are not as in demand now. So I have free time, and I've started looking at what's going on in the city. I think we need a little bit of polish in some areas. I think we need to just pay more attention to our citizens. And we've got some big things that need to be fixed, but we can plan from the beginning to keep problems from happening at the end of projects. Thank you.
I feel that now is the right time for me to serve. I've done a lot of preparation for this role. I have served in law enforcement for many years, over 15 years. I've also served for the federal government. Before that, I've done a lot of grievance work. I filed a lot of paperwork for legal things for different people around the city and back in New York. I just feel that this is the best time for me to step out into municipal government to protect and serve, because that's a part of the fabric in which I come from.
What are your 3 most pressing platform points?
Well, the first one is bringing small business into Centerville. We have a great track record right now. Places like Centerville Auto Repair Shop, Cars, and the Barbary are wonderful small businesses. We can do better. We can bring in even more. The second platform point is infrastructure. We need to make sure that we can keep our roads in good repair and our other city infrastructure. And the last point, efficient use of our tax money. We need to make sure that when we do spend our tax money, that it's spent in the best way we can. And we need to try to keep our taxes low as they currently are.
Citizen involvement and infrastructure. We have some major concerns, and all of that depends on tax money, SPLOST dollars, etc. So keeping our budget in line without having to raise our taxes considerably, but also being responsive to what our citizens need and providing the services that they need in their neighborhoods to have safe and effective neighborhoods.
That's an awesome question. My most pressing platform talking points are: 1, I want to create a scholarship program for all small businesses, that those that come within the fold in the first year, I will give back part of my salary, a 10% deduction from my salary, to give back and bless the people who are out trying to be entrepreneurs. Another talking point: truth, trust, and transparency. As a person in law enforcement, these are the creeds that you are actually initiated into serving in public service. So truth, trust, and transparency is what I want, is one of the most pressing platforms that I have for the people of Centerville.
What would you say is the greatest challenge to the city of Centerville, and how do you plan to address it?
I would say that the greatest challenge is keeping the city having the small town feel that we have while surrounded by larger cities. I think we can do that by, again, bringing in small businesses. The small businesses are what make a small city. We can really enhance the attractiveness of our city by making sure that we treat our small businesses well and encourage new businesses to come in.
Landlocked, so I can't create land. That was done long ago, and the borders of Warner Robins and all of that have been made. We do have areas of Houston County that could be incorporated in the future, and we are adding in those directions. As we grow, we need to make sure that the growth is happening with good planning, both for transportation infrastructure and for drainage issues, runoff, stormwater, for the demand on the services that we're going to have. We are in good shape with our reserve fund right now. It would be nice to be able to keep it that way. So we have to keep looking for additional funding sources and growing economically, growing our business population, being able to attract some steady and long-term industry, maybe light industry.
What is your perception of the quality?
The greatest challenge, I think the greatest challenge now is just creating diversity, bringing the diversity that's in the community. The community is evolving. I've been here for 15 years, and the landscape of the community, the multiculturalism, is not a challenge. I think it's a blessing that we can bring all of that engagement into municipal city government and have the ideas and the ideologies of the people reflected in our government today.
What is your perception of the quality of life in Centerville, and what would you do to help Centerville continue to grow?
I think that Centerville has a great quality of life. Our crime is low. We've come down to, I believe, the 19th safest city in Georgia, which is considerably down from previous years. We can continue to help city grow again by bringing in small businesses and keeping our police force working efficiently and supporting them in helping to keep our community safe.
Our citizens love living here. I've been talking to citizens as I've campaigned. They like their neighborhoods. They like their neighbors. They do wish that we could have, maybe a few more patrol cars coming through more often. We're concerned about crime. We're concerned about speeding in our neighborhoods. But I think that's a positive for our city. I think that it gives us a place to grow and a place to improve our neighborhoods. Housing situations. We have a housing team that's working on things right now as far as getting some aid and funding to improve the condition of our neighborhoods and improve some of the older and blighted areas, blighted situations that we have. But that's going to be a big problem. We have to keep making sure that we stay on top of that.
The quality of life in Centerville, I have to really say that the quality of life in Centerville is a blessing. I returned home 15 years ago due to the quality of life that Centerville offers. I was in a major car accident. I broke every bone in my body, and this was my place and my source of healing. Centerville is a serene, clean, tranquil community with an enriched body of people that helps in that process. So Centerville is definitely a place for quality of life.
As a regional shopping destination, how will you be an advocate for supporting the business community?
Well, one way that we can help attract small businesses is through temporary tax breaks. We can let them have a tax reprieve for a short time to get them started, help lessen their expenses for the first couple of years that they're here. And as they build their clientele or their business, then we can leverage that and bring in some more tax money for the city at that time.
We've got to get out there and really make sure that we're making it easy for them to do business in Centerville. Working with them positively on the process of first getting their business located and operating, the inspection process, the reviews that have to be gone through. We have a good economic development officer right now. And being in touch with our business owners is going to be the most important thing. The first time I campaigned, that was an issue in 2019. But I was very pleased to see that we did a survey of all our businesses this year. So even the city officials need to be out there talking to our business owners.
To support the business community, I think that Centerville is right on point. They are focused. The current city council positioning, Kate Hogan, they have done a wonderful job with stepping out into this community, meeting with the business owners, and reflecting a community that is rich, that is flourishing, that is thriving. And small business owners, they need to come to Centerville to establish not just their business here, but step out of the door and embrace the small business ethic that Centerville is worshiped for, ethics and integrity.
What are your priorities for public safety?
I had the opportunity to meet our new police chief just recently, and I think he's going to be a great asset to Centerville. I think that we need to support him and give him a chance to put his stamp onto the police force and see how, after a short time for him to get acclimated, then we can see what needs to be changed or improved for the police force. But I think our police force does a good job. We probably don't pay them enough. But again, budget issues are a big deal, and we can work on that as we move forward.
For public safety, we have a well-trained police department. We have budget for training our police department. What we have to do is hire good, capable, professional people for our positions in public safety. And then we have to allow them to do their jobs without a lot of outside interference, and to ensure that we support them in the efforts that they are taking to protect our citizens and to keep our city working well for all of its citizens.
Public safety. That's my wheelhouse because, again, I am a retired law enforcement officer. I believe in service protection, but I also believe in community engagement, that it takes a village incorporated with the systems of protection of public service officers, that we get out, we identify the needs of our citizens, and that we can reflect and be intimate with the people that reside in Centerville. That is my feelings on public safety, and that is where I tend to take public safety if I'm elected.
What are your priorities for the city's budget?
The biggest thing that we can do, if the city currently has a 6-month budget reserve, we need to make sure that we can keep that reserve available in case of unforeseen things like this pandemic that we've had over the past year, where we may not be able to collect quite as many taxes as we have in the past. We need to make sure that we can maintain our roads and our other city facilities, and we need to make sure that our law enforcement is paid accordingly to their worth. And if we need to hire more of those, then we need to account for that in the budget.
The budget is in fairly good shape. I'd love to see a little more money in it, but that comes from taxes, and that's a dirty word. We do have to, we're operating on about a little over $10 million budget, and that works out to roughly $1,400 per person. So think about that in terms of your household budget. You've got to find it somewhere. That's why we need our SPLOST money. That's why we need our businesses. That's why we need to support our local businesses. That's why we need to be attracting some light industry that also brings in a good tax base to this area. So these are the priorities for Centerville, for building up our light industry, building up our commercial projects, and also providing some opportunities maybe for some housing opportunities for all of the populations who live here. I've heard a lot of citizens want some senior citizen type housing in this area. And perhaps we could try to attract a developer who would do more senior type development.
The budget. So far, what I've done is I've tried to assess the budget in the last 3 years. Of course, I am not an economist. I am not a person that is an accountant, but my plans for the budget is to balance it, to look at every function of the budget and be hands-on, to be there with the people that are making and assessing the budget so we can provide the resources in different places and balance the budget effectively.
Communication has been challenging through 2020, to say the least, but we have learned to innovate and connect in ways like never before. What will you do to ensure effective communication between the local government and its residents?
One thing that we've been doing recently that I've really gotten a lot of use out of is the live streaming of the council meetings. I've watched quite a few of those over the past year, and I think they're very useful as far as getting information about the process of government out to the citizens. I also have seen that the councilman's cell phone numbers are readily available right there on the City of Centerville website. I think that's a great idea, and obviously if I'm elected, my phone number will be right there with them, and I would encourage the citizens of Centerville to give us a call if that's if we need to take care of something.
Well, I think we need to make sure that the systems that we put in place to communicate with them are working well. I was a little bit worried today about doing this broadcast because I've never had to do a live stream program before. But with patience, with understanding, we can get it done. And we have to make sure it's working on both ends. I have attended some of the virtual city council meetings. It's challenging sometimes when the internet comes and goes and comes and goes and the program goes live and off. So we have to be monitoring that and working after the meeting to make sure it doesn't happen again or what can be done. But the good news is Windstream's putting in the high-speed internet as we speak. They are up at the top of my street. I was worried it would interfere with this broadcast, but we need to encourage that. We need to encourage the communications companies to come in and give us the good networks that we need.
Awesome question again. I am a person that loves people. I enjoy every culture, every person that's in this community. I love to get out and reach out to each and every person. So as the city council person representing Post 1, you will see me in the streets. You will see me walking about, talking to people, asking them their concerns, and actually posting where I live in this community. So you will have availability to me at all times.
Houston County, in conjunction with all 3 cities here, including Centerville, are working on updating their comprehensive plan. What priorities, in your opinion, need to be included in the plan?
Well, the several things I think we need to put in about encouraging small businesses or any businesses for that matter. You know, if we're talking about Warner Robins, then we've got our partnership with the base that is also extremely important. There's a lot that can be done with cooperation of several cities. I think joint cooperation on infrastructure, roads, we have roads here in Centerville that run right into Warner Robins and other cities. So, that kind of cooperation is very important. And definitely public safety, I think a lot of cooperation between the police forces of those cities would be a key factor in keeping our cities safe, respectively.
We need to have cooperative planning between all of the entities in the county on our cross streets and our major transportation routes. Sidewalks along those major transportation routes are something that our citizens really want. So we need to be listening to our citizens, and we've been surveyed this year. That's a good thing that the city has done. We are doing some good stuff that needs to be continued. But the citizens have been surveyed. The business owners have been surveyed. Where would you like to see Centerville go? What do you want? And that's the questions we need to be answering. It's not what I want. It's what our citizens need and want. And the only way we know this is by talking to them. So yes, sidewalks, and then openness when we make those plans and they're made as to the progress of where we're going with them, what's getting done, and being open with our citizens. Thank you.
For Centerville, things that need to be touched on and put into the comprehensive plan is things like blight, things like the sidewalk, public works. There are things that need to be addressed to further enhance Centerville. As I said before, Centerville is a wonderful city. It is flourishing, it is thriving, but there are small areas of concern, not big concerns, but to make the whole entire picture better and more empowering and holistic for its residents. Those are the things that I would attack for.
Where do you see Centerville in the next 10 years?
I don't know how many have actually looked at the Centerville Town Plan. I love the way that the plan addresses this question. We need to have a business area that is built around Central Park, which is kind of the jewel of our city at the moment. We need to make sure that we are renovating, refurbishing other older buildings, making them have a uniform appearance around that central area so that we can have a beautiful city that is attractive to both businesses and residents. And we want to make it uniform, but there's room for individuality in there, but we want to keep a uniform theme throughout the city.
I see it as a family environment where we are protected by a police department that's patrolling our streets regularly, involved with the community. Our public safety officers, our fire department's been wonderful. They've been in homes giving us smoke detectors and things like that. So it's just wonderful the way we are in some ways. In other ways, we do need to work on blighted properties. So we're going to get those cleaned up. We're going to make our neighborhoods, maybe create more neighborhood associations. I noticed there's one forming in one of our neighborhoods out on Houston Lake right now. So that needs to be encouraged and supported. Let's get our neighborhoods working together with each other to make Centerville the true community that it was when I was growing up, with youth activities and recreational activities. And let's all enjoy living in a fun city.
Centerville. Centerville is an evolving city, and I see nothing but brighter and better and bigger dynamic vibrancy for this city. This city is already vibrant. It's already phenomenal. And Centerville just needs to maintain its current economic stand, to be responsible for its budget, and to continue embracing the citizens and welcome them in to city council forums, open forums, allowing the people to speak for what really matters to Centerville. That is my platform, and that's where I see Centerville in 5 years, embraced reality, where the people also come into the fold and they tell us what they want and need, and the people that are there to legislate those decisions are there to embrace their concerns.
What is the greatest strength you believe you add as a member of council?
I think my ability to work well with others. In my day job, I work with dozens of people every day, and being able to handle people's concerns, to handle different viewpoints, and to kind of mesh them together into a unified direction. I think that's a very important thing to be able to do.
I care about our citizens. I care about our seniors. I recognize that we have a lot of seniors who are in situations with failing health and who may be living alone. We'll have a demand on services because of that. But our seniors belong in our neighborhoods. They are the stability and the maturing influence in our communities. They provide extra grandparents for the children in the neighborhood, and an extra set of eyes and guidance. And our neighbors, I've talked to people, they love having our senior citizens as their neighbors. So we have to encourage that population and make them feel a vital part of our community. We have to encourage our families and go for these volunteer and community activities that can build up our community here locally so that we know one another.
The greatest strength I believe I add is character, integrity, truth, resilience. I won't give up. I'm a person that has fought for myself. With that accident, I had to come back from being in a place of disability, unable to walk for a couple of years. I was wheelchair bound, and I'm standing here before you today telling you that if you elect me, I will not give up on you. Your concerns are my concerns, and we will move forward, but you will be heard with me standing at Post 1.
I think that I would be the best candidate for Post 1 Centerville City Council. I bring a lot of management experience and community involvement, as well as just a general ability to get along and solve problems. I think that if we can move forward, especially with bringing more businesses to Centerville, I think that we will be in a great place and continue to move Centerville forward.
I have enjoyed so much walking through our neighborhoods, knocking on doors and talking to people. The best advice I got when I decided to run for government was go and knock on doors. And boy, has that been a blessing to me. I hope you have enjoyed getting to know me as I've been out and about. I have learned, and I knew through sitting in city council meetings, that they make big decisions with resources that are constraining us on all sides. Governmental requirements, monetary availability, timelines for collection of SPLOST taxes and all of that. But you keep one step at a time, keep moving forward, and we work together and we tell you what we're doing and you ask us what we're doing. And I think we will have a community that feels like it's one city, one group of people who care for one another, even though we are 8 or 9 neighborhoods scattered from Dunbar Road to Watson Boulevard to Highway 41 to Carl Vinson Parkway. But we are all part of this community called Centerville. Many of our concerns are the same, but I know you like living here. We want to make it better. Thank you.
So April, I just want to thank you in the Robbins Chamber of Commerce for allowing me to speak to the people today, to let them know that it's not just about politics or having a party. It's about the welfare of the people. Centerville is a thriving city, and I want to represent you. Not only do I have what it takes to stand here in excellence with truth, trust, and transparency, I will bring Centerville into a progressive city that embraces each and every individual here. Your thoughts and concerns will be heard, and I will do my utmost to take care of you.
Hey, thanks for watching. That's going to wrap up our time with the candidates for the City of Centerville special election, May 2021, Council Post 1. I'm April Bragg with the Chamber. Thank you for allowing us to continue to serve and provide valuable information like you've just heard today. To learn more about what we've got going on, you can follow us on Facebook, Robbins Regional Chamber, or join our over 20,000 community enthusiasts in our new group, Robbins to Go. We'll talk to you soon.